The weather is hot. EDC Parade coming to Vegas. What it's like in a Zoox. All that and more coming up right now on MTM Vegas, the partially solo show. Happy Wednesday, MTM Vegas peeps. Mark is going to join me later in the show to talk about Zoox, and he will be back on Friday for a regular show. But let's talk the weather. It is hot in Las Vegas, not just normally hot. As I record this and as this comes out today, we're looking at 94, 95 degrees for the weather, but it could get even worse. There's a 50% chance that the valley will see 100 degrees on Friday, a 40% chance on Saturday. So you're like 100 degrees in Vegas. Is that a big deal? Well, it kind of is, because Las Vegas has never seen 100 degrees in March. It has never even seen 100 degrees in April. The earliest it's ever happened, May 1st, 1947. So this is unprecedented. It kind of sucks for people who live here. I mean, this is the weather that we wait for, these shoulder seasons. It should be really nice, pleasant outside. 94 degrees feels even hotter when you're coming off colder temperatures. Been a very mild winter, but if you're coming, they even have cooling stations set up this weekend for everybody out and about. So if you're visiting town, I hope you stay hydrated, stay cool, stay indoors. Summer is starting early, it seems. Maybe we'll get a cold front. I hope we get a cold front because we absolutely need it. But that is your weather report for the day. Here's your A's Stadium report for the day. I'm going to talk on the next show about my stay at MGM Grand and my detailed thoughts on the renovated rooms there. But one of the cooler aspects was this view that I had of the A's Stadium construction. I showed you a few weeks ago my sphere view over at Palazzo. I think this is a great reminder that some of these hotels get upgraded views over time. I don't know if this is the view everybody is going to die for, but I think that stadium is going to look pretty nice when done, and MGM Grand has the spot to get the look at it. And as we look at this video, I mean, you're starting to see the stadium take shape. We've showed you some of the time lapses and some other angles, but this is a nice sort of overview of the stadium, where it's at, how it's getting built. It's not just dirt in the ground anymore, but let's pivot downtown where Tony Roma's is starting to be dirt in the ground. Not really, but Tony Roma's has been at Fremont as long as I can remember, since I was a kid. Vital Vegas has this article about them closing, and they are going to close May 9th, and he has confirmed that with Boyd Gaming. In that article, he says he can't nail down when exactly it opened at Fremont, so I don't know, but you've probably seen the signs for it, because I think it's famous these days for its prime rib special, I think earlier in the night, and then you have the steak and lobster special later in the night. Tony Roma's, of course, used to be a big deal in the U.S., tons of locations. I think they're down to less than 100. I think he said like 10 in the U.S. This is the only one left in Nevada. I've been going to this Tony Roma's for years. I haven't been in many years, but my experience was never great there. It never felt as good as the other Tony Roma's, and we used to go quite often. I mean, it was a big brand here in Vegas, a big brand on the West Coast, but that one is the only one that had remained, and it had those specials, and the service was just always not friendly. Now, granted, anytime I went to that location, I was going for either the prime rib or the steak and lobster, but even those, I don't know, the quality went down over the years, the prices went up. I think $12.99 now for the prime rib, $18 for the steak and lobster. Correct me if that's even higher now, but a big piece of Vegas history going away at Fremont. And remember, there's a huge Tony Roma's tie-in to Las Vegas. Lefty Rosenthal's car incident famously happened in a parking lot at a Tony Roma's in Las Vegas. It's not this Tony Roma's. It is on East Sahara, no longer there, but Tony Roma's always going to be a big part of Vegas history. Of course, in the movie Casino, they changed that whole scene to happen in front of Plaza, but it really happened in front of Tony Roma's. And we do have one other update for Fremont, and this also comes from Vital Vegas. Craft Kitchen has now closed at the new food hall over there. Craft Kitchen was weird because they have a restaurant I've been to. It's a standalone restaurant here in Henderson, but they were operating in the food hall here. Doesn't seem like it caught on. So big changes coming. And what's going to replace Tony Roma's? We don't know. Vital Vegas says he doesn't even know. He says with the Second Street Grill closed that the space is going to be expanding. So perhaps a expanded higher end offering. I don't know, but rest in peace, Tony Roma's. You were never the best of anything, but you were definitely a staple of something. Also a staple of Las Vegas is EDC. Now, I mean, I forget when it came to Las Vegas, but it feels like it's been at least 10 years since it's been at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. It is indeed going to have its 30th anniversary this year in Las Vegas, with over 500,000 people coming for EDC, and all the tickets are sold out just like every year. but they're adding something this year, the EDC Parade, and this will be for everybody in Las Vegas, not just for people with tickets. It's going to start at 6 p.m. on May 14th at the Las Vegas Festival Grounds. They say that it's going to have over a dozen floats, cast of performers, bands, lights, all the things you would expect from EDC. It's going to travel by Circus, Resorts World, Fontainebleau, and Sahara over the course of 2.5 hours. So that tells me it's probably going to be a street party or something. They didn't release that, but that's a very short sort of distance. Maybe it's going to go the entire strip, but basically turning the entire city into an EDC party. And that is kind of fun. I think a lot of us locals always enjoy the EDC vibes, even if we don't go out to it. It brings a different crowd to town, a funner crowd, and I think it's absolutely great to bring this to the strip. It's an example of Las Vegas synergy sort of working together. Sometimes with F1, people feel like it doesn't, but in this case, shut down the strip for a couple hours, bring the EDC vibe to the strip so everybody can go enjoy it. I think that's a great idea. And 30 years of EDC still haven't gotten out there. Mark and I once had a promise that he broke, and we still haven't done it, but maybe someday when we're older. In a minute, Mark's going to join me to talk about Zoox and my experience with autonomous driving on the strip. But before we do that, I'd love to invite you to subscribe. Thousands of you are watching this show who are not subscribed. We're so close to 60K. Help us get there. So some big news for autonomous vehicle lovers out there. Zoox announced that they have officially, I guess this could be bad news too, Mark, but they've officially partnered with Uber starting this summer. You're going to be able to call Zoox cars in the Uber app. Now, Zoox also has their own app, and right now it's free to use, but that also means that they're probably going to start charging this year. And indeed, they announced that sometime this year they will start charging. Now, these all use these pre-destined locations. Like, for instance, on the South Strip, you have like New York, Excalibur, Top Golf. On the North Strip, you have places like Resorts World and Wynn, and it goes between all of them. And yeah, do you think this is good or bad? I mean, Uber, I think this is 5 years from now, all I envision is these autonomous vehicles everywhere.
Yeah, I think that's where it's going, and maybe this will lead to something more down the line, because you would think Uber would be trying to do this on their own, but maybe they're like, hey, let's just partner up here and use their technology and kind of grow it from there. So I could see this becoming more of a thing. I think there'll always be still people-driven cars, because a lot of people will refuse to go in an autonomous car. So I think it'll be like a split type of thing in the next 5 years on Uber's app. But hey, at least we have those kiosks. What casino was it again? I forget. They had the kiosk there just in case you don't have a cell phone.
Yeah, the M Resort. You don't have a cell phone, but you'll figure out how to use an autonomous vehicle. Well, you need a cell phone for Zoox. I actually finally got to try it. And what's been interesting is the waits have been about 45 minutes. A few times I've tried recently on the strip, and I was there last night, and I was able to just sort of time it into our night. And we were staying at MGM Grand, and we wanted to head up to Wynn. So I walked over to New York. We took it there, and then eventually took it back to Excalibur. And it goes different routes depending on your go. Like from New York, it kind of took the back way up, Dean Martin Drive, instead of the strip. And then coming back down, we took the strip. But you call it right through the app, just like it works just like Uber. It's interesting. It even gives you a $0 charge, but it makes you confirm it with Apple Pay. So they really have the entire mechanism now to charge is all set up for you. And then you have to open the doors through the app, and inside you can adjust the music and the temperature. You know, people have covered this. Zoox has been doing rides since last year for quite a while now, but it's actually very comfortable. Like the space inside is very good. One ride we did it facing each other. The other ride we both sat on the same side. I think that the amount of space they give each passenger is really good. And the music, even the speaker quality of the music was decent. Every passenger has their own touchscreen, has the starry sky at night, but it basically feels like riding in a giant go-kart.
Now, did anybody jump in with you while you were doing it, or was it just the two of you?
No, it's your private car, so it's like you're calling an Uber. So they arrive in like batches, like tanks of them, because they're all going to the same spot. So like when we were coming back from Wynn, 5 of them arrived at one time. And so you do get your license plate just like you would in the Uber app, and you have to look for it. But it's sort of weird to see these things. And they're very conservative drivers. So it's like driving with an old grandma who still has her wits about her, I guess. I don't know, something like that.
Okay.
People were cutting us off on purpose, and the car would have to swerve. And indeed, there was an accident where one of them hit a bus this week, and it was the bus driver's fault. I don't know. I think that's what they were saying. But it did a good job. We had one guy who cut us off on purpose, and the car did a really good job of doing it. Great views out of the sides. You can't really see out of the front and the back, but really cool strip views too, driving down the strip. And I got my crazy boomer moment. You haven't seen this video, but we were driving by the Hard Rock, the guitar tower, and I got it on like wide angle, and I'm trying to get this beautiful view as we go by. Even the light was testing on the side of it. It was great. And then my stupid finger was like in the top of the view of the thing, and my finger is actually blocking where the lights are flashing. And so there was my boomer camera moment of 2026.
There you go. When do you think we'll get the first story of people getting freaky inside of one of these?
I mean, there's a camera right there. It's pretty obvious.
Do you think they stop it? They're like, hey, put your stuff away. Sit down.
I don't know. I mean, the material is very wipeable, as they've talked about. You know, you can clean it very easily. To their credit, it was clean. It was all good.
You think?
I did take off my seatbelt at one point. No, I did not. Yeah, Mark, I don't need to do one of your bed bug inspections on the on the Zoox car. These things are getting they're getting rode hard though. I mean, like when you call it, it was like a 40-minute wait. And
he didn't do that on purpose, people.
And I'm sure at night they're put away wet as well. I mean, they're going hard. So when you call it, it actually assigns it. Like in my case, it was like the first one was 45 minutes away, but it's actually assigning all those routes in advance. So I could see where it was, and then it had to come back down south and then go back north, come back, whatever it was doing before it reached me. And so they are, these things are working maximum amount of time. And I think it's a good service. And with the prices right, we talked about Vegas Loop on the last show, did an in-depth thing on that. Like I said, I think the future is these autonomous vehicles above ground, below ground. And they're probably going to have to change some sort of traffic patterns to eventually deal with this, because they drive a little bit different than your average human.
Yeah, they should have kind of like an autonomous only lane, kind of like we see carpooling lanes, things like that. I think that make them go a little bit quicker and encourage more people to use them. I think that'd be a way to make this really work and be streamlined.
But either way, I say if you're going to ride Zoox, either before they start charging in this free period now, it's gotten popular and more people know about it. You go ahead and plan it into your night, open the app, and then just, if it's 45 minutes away, plan that you're going to have that wait. And then for us, it wasn't a big deal because we sort of planned into it. Amazon owns Zoox, so it's interesting with the Uber partnership. Amazon's invested so much money into this company, so you were going to see them everywhere. They're going to partner in other cities as well. Let us know down in the comments what you guys think. Have you ridden Zoox? I think it was a great experience, and I much preferable to a human driver Uber. I'm all about this future. Let's do it. So let me know what you guys think about anything we discussed on this show today. Weather, that view of the A's ballpark, is that cool? EDC Parade, Zoox. Have you tried it? Are you excited for the future of autonomous vehicles? Let me know down below. We do 3 shows a week, Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. We'll be back in a couple days with another show. Thank you so much for watching. Talk to you next time.